This is Shop Talk. My name is Jay.
I'm Jess.
And with us today,
Tanya Thompson.
what business do you own?
Yes, my business is called the Aroma Labs.
All right, so tell us a little bit about the business.
Yeah.
How you got to at least right now.
Yeah, the journey. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the long story. So I started making things back about 13 years ago to work through my grieving process. I had lost my husband. My daughters were 3 and 6 at the time. So making things was an opportunity for me to get out of my head, right? Because the grieving process is, it's normal form of psychosis, right, in your head.
Right.
So making things helped me work through my grieving process. And the girls could help me. We could make lotions and scrubs and chapsticks. And because we had limited resources, we would also give them away to the bus drivers and the teachers, right? And then people would ask me, oh my gosh, that scrub, oh my gosh, that candle, lotion, I love it. I invite them into my home, and my girls and I would teach them how we did it. I love what happens between humans when they make something together. It's a transaction you can't take back. So from there, I got an associate, a bachelor's and a master's. So that's from age 30 to 40 to train my mind, right? Because you can't just have the creative mind. You have to have the opportunity for the business acumen. So, I got that and kind of wrote this up as a school project. And I just kept going. Started in my basement 5 years ago. Of course, with your trusty friends, right? Trying out all the best on your friends and family. Did pop-ups for several months. Met Jess actually at the Park Trade Center. Love the Park Trade Center. It was a great studio space, an incubator for entrepreneurs, artists to get together. And then COVID happened, right? Where noses and gathering weren't welcome. So I started doing what they call scenting for businesses. So real estate agents, mortgage brokers, loan officers, they would create their own signature scent, and we would private label or white label it, and they would give it away as gifts or client gifts, that sort of thing. That gave me enough money to come on downtown to the mall, which was important to me because as a young girl, my grandma would take me through the downtown mall, and I would peer in the shops, and I had such fond memories of my grandma and, being downtown Kalamazoo, and that I'm also among, all these fantastic female business owners down there. So from there, crazy enough to replicate it, open in Grand Rapids, 3 times the size of Kalamazoo.
Sure.
And then from there, crazy enough to replicate it again, 3 times the size in Detroit. Replicate it again into a mobile truck, so corporate events, team building, birthday parties, and then crazy enough to replicate it again in a market 5 times the size in Chicago. So yeah.
So
hold up.
now, again, oftentimes you don't know me well enough. Jess does. I'm rarely caught flat-footed and somewhat dumbfounded, but I find myself at a point where I am both.
I'm a little shocked that you didn't jump in, but when I looked over, the mouth was literally hanging open.
Oh.
I haven't seen this yet.
No, this is a new reaction. I don't often have that kind of reaction when somebody tells me, "Okay, so how did you build your business?" Well, blah 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 blah. Oftentimes it's a great stellar story. This one, I'm caught a little off. How in your mind did you get from grieving to even going to we went from grieving to masters in like a half a second there.
It was over 10 years. Yeah.
Good Lord, though.
Yes, yeah.
But still, with little ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, having had little ones, it's like I can't imagine keeping my mind, anywhere near straight at that point in time to be able to do what you did.
Yeah. I it was just one day at a time, and then you look back and you took all these steps onto this journey, right? So yeah, it was just one day at a time. I always had a goal in mind. Obviously, write down your goals. It's really important to have a general picture, and then but be also open to the ambiguity, right? I never thought about scenting for businesses, but it worked really well given the time. Mm-hmm. I never thought about really replicating, triple down. I never thought about that. But once you do things, once you take that step has an energy of its own. And you have to be open to the energy that happens when you hire a staff, or, people start coming in and creating signature scents. And we are a part of so many special moments. We're part of birthday parties. We're part of, anniversaries. We're a part of making a signature scent for their, their wedding, their nuptials. We've had the Brown Sugar Book Club. We've had Latina Connect. We've had corporate retreats. We've had team building events. We've had, someone celebrating their last day of chemotherapy. I mean, we are a part of so many special moments. And in that has an energy of its own to keep going, right? I never, I was like, okay, these reviews are coming in. People like it. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
And then you build this really, really neat team. And they talk about how they've had terrible experiences in the previous employers that they had, right? Or maybe they were scraping by or struggling. And so that has an energy of its own too, of making sure that, I'm curating a space where they feel safe and seen and they have their own opportunity to grow. So it has its own magic, right?
Yeah, very much magic.
It does.
Do you ever take a moment to look backwards, or are you constantly looking forwards as an entrepreneur? I mean, the entrepreneurial journey is so crazy, but it's like, do you ever take that moment to go, holy cow, look what we've...
It's emotional for me when I do.
I can't imagine it couldn't be.
It becomes emotional when, I do take moments, but most of the time it's always looking forward, right? And I think that's just how I'm made.
Wired,
yeah, that's how I'm made, is constantly looking for the opportunities and the threats. That's how I'm wired.
Yeah. Tanya is one of the most driven people, sincere, just so authentic. So authentic. I am so inspired by her.
Thanks,
Constantly inspired by her. And look at me, I'm getting all emotional.
Well,
seriously, it is a beautiful story what she has curated with the concept of the store, from her basement to Park Trades to here, and then just taking over the world is honestly magical. And the way that she inspires her staff to just be out there and take ownership, right? Take ownership of those spaces. So when I walk in, if she's not there, I know I'm going to get the same commitment and experience and fun that if she were there. And that's really a testament to what she's done.
It's hard to be able to do those things. People don't realize if you don't own a business, it's like to find people that will buy in, and to find people that are willing and able to train and bring them in as a team and have that kind of an atmosphere when you're not there, because when you're in, what is it, Chicago, Detroit, Grand Rapids, and Kalamazoo, you could be anywhere at any given time.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And to keep that experience, it's like, that's got to be a challenge.
Yeah, I think it's that, other things that Jess described, I do that to my team, right? I pay the same attention to them as I would, a customer coming in. I know their animals, their partners' names, their things that they like to do. I pay attention to them. I make them feel seen and heard and validated. So I think that probably plays to all of it, right? The way I make a customer feel is also the way I make my team feel.
So we're talking a lot about signature scents.
Yeah.
And people might not understand what that is.
Yes.
And you're talking about events and doing things for realtors and that type of thing. Explain for the person who is walking, they see the big blue sign and they are walking through the door. What are they going to see? What are they going to hear? What are they going to smell?
Right.
And how does that experience work?
Right. So the Aroma Labs is a concept where you create your own signature scent, meaning you come into our store You sit down in front of, we call it a condensed perfumer's organ. We have about 48 different aromas. They're categories: florals, flavors, citrus, and woody. From there, we show you how to smell. So you smell your way through and you find the ones that you like the best. From there, we show you how to make a quick recipe with them, multiple recipes until you make a recipe that you love. And once you make a recipe you love, you can put it in a variety of different mediums. And I refer to the word medium. Could that be a perfume? Could that be a beard oil? Could that be a soap? Could that be a scrub? Could it be a lotion? Something for your room, something for your bath, something for your home. So from there, they can take that, right with them right after they've created it that day. So,
and then they can make it again.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because you keep that on file,
Yes.
correct?
Yep. Yeah. Everything
So
is digital. Yep.
Yeah. So if they come in and they make, let's say, a lotion,
Mm-hmm.
and then they come back and they're like, "Ooh, I like this. I want to make it into a foaming bath, butter, something like that." You can do that.
Yep. Everything is digital, meaning if someone leans over and is like, "Oh my gosh, you smell good," you can go right on your account, thearomalabs.com, and pull up what you've created. It's all there for you to say, "Oh yeah, it's hibiscus, Chardonnay, and oud." Absolutely.
It's bacon and sandalwood.
I have made a bacon maple candle for a client before.
I'm telling you, that's what came into my head. It's
I
wonder how bacon and sandalwood would smell.
Yeah, I've made marijuana scents for Loom.
Right.
Yeah, and you don't even know it's us, right? But yeah, our sense of smell is so instrumental as a being. And when I say that, it's the first thing that's developed in womb, right? In the womb.
Sure.
And it's also the first thing you lose if there's any problems mentally and that sort of thing. But it's connected to our prefrontal cortex, our sense of smell, memory, mood, emotion, right? That's why it's so phenomenal for humans and impactful to the way something smells. And even it's a character thing, like, "Oh, he was a serial killer. No, I just smelled sandalwood. He smelled good," right? Our perception of other humans when they smell good
Right.
is important as well. And it's just heightened. Yeah.
I want to dig in one more place.
Yeah.
Real quick. It's like, how many times has the business plan, if there was one,
Yeah.
changed and modified over
Oh,
this
my gosh.
over this time frame?
Yeah.
Because when you talk about it, it's
Yeah.
like, and then they can go online and they can see
Yeah.
that smell, and it's like, I'll put bets that nowhere did you ever think, okay,
No.
when you started, this is where it's
No.
going to go.
No. You have to be close to your customer too.
Right.
That's the most important thing, is be close to your customer and see what's happening. And at one point we had first of all, there was a point where I just had them circle. So they had their aromas in front of them,
Okay.
and then they would circle what they like, or maybe even number from 1 to 10 in each category. And then I would blend for them based on their preferences.
Sure.
Then I got to a point like, wow, you can only move as fast because you're the only blender, right? So then I showed the customers how to blend for themselves so I could have more people in the studio. But then we had those paper, right, which is wasteful in and of itself, knowing just, about
Yes.
how important it is.
Right.
So the paper, then we started scanning the paper in. Then we have a website. Then we started entering it in. And then it was really hard to read people's handwriting. So from there, we found a company that would curate a system specifically where the customer would sit down with their phone and they would tell the system throughout each step of the process what they like, and then it would be completely cataloged for them. So if they traveled, we could ship it to them very easily by going back to our website, logging in, and sending the order through pretty easily.
I was a part of the OG crew
You were,
that
yeah.
Numbered them 1 to 10.
Yep.
So to see this,
Right.
is so cool.
Yeah, the digital process.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
it.
and then the customers were having a hard time if they did travel because it was in Kalamazoo and it was COVID. And Kalamazoo really at that time I would say wasn't a desirable destination for travelers. But when I got to Grand Rapids, there's people that would contact me after their visit from Ohio or Pennsylvania or Washington or Colorado. And the system wasn't easy for them to ship their own to them.
Sure.
So that was the evolution, and that's just staying really close to your customer and seeing what they're talking about, what their frustration is. Yeah.
So talking about the different places that you're in, what sets Kalamazoo apart? Why do you love being in downtown Kalamazoo?
I do. Kalamazoo began back to my special memories, right? Back to the special memories with my grandma. I love the the small shop owners. That's it. I mean, I love the relationships that I get to have with you and Colors and Cocktails and Tom and Heather. Yeah, it doesn't feel like that in the other cities. It doesn't feel like this close-knit experience of people just really trying to help each other out. It doesn't feel like that. That's
When we
Kalamazoo.
talk about it being different in downtown Kalamazoo, that's one of the main things
It is.
that comes up often.
Yeah.
It's like, look, we're not out to beat somebody else.
No.
It's like, look, as a group, we just know
We all do better when we all do better.
if one wins, all wins.
Yep. It doesn't feel like that in other cities. And I am in other cities.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel the same. And I think it's also important to me to make sure I also curate that younger generation. That's why we do a lot of stuff with the Kalamazoo Parks and Recs. The whole month of June, the whole month of July, we're having all the little campers in. And it's chaos.
But I bet they love it, and
They absolutely love it, and they bring their bigs back.
Yeah.
And the bigs are so cute. They're like, he's been talking about this since he came this summer. And they bring their bigs back. But, I think it's so vitally important to continue to have that younger generation have a familiarity, a comfortability, and a positive experience downtown from a young age.
Yes.
yeah.
And it's chaos, like I said,
Right.
but they love it. And then they bring their bigs back. So it's really heartwarming. And we continue to do it every year.
How cool is that you had these great experiences? I did too. I remember my grandma bringing me to Gilmore's and Jacobson's and running through and hiding in the racks. I had just such great memories of downtown. And you're creating those memories for those littles that one day they're going to be telling that story.
That's important to me, yeah. My other grandma was a seamstress at Jacobson's.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's important, these women that came before me showed me the beauty of downtown, whether they worked downtown or came for enjoyment. It's an honor for me to have a shop on the same street that my other women, significant women in my life. So keep doing that.
Tanya, you have an amazingly powerful story.
Thank you.
I don't know how many times you share it. I feel somewhat honored that you were here and shared it with us.
Oh, thanks.
No, truly, because it's like this is, business owners do things for a plethora of reasons, but this is one where it's like, wow, this is really powerful.
Thanks.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Jess, always things going on in downtown Kalamazoo.
There's always things going on in downtown Kalamazoo. You know that.
I do. So any specifics you want to share?
Oh my gosh. Month of September. We are super, super excited. Kicking off, all the students are coming back.
Yep.
So we are really happy to have them back. We invite Western and K and Valley students to come on down and see all that we have to offer. There's always stuff to do. Obviously, come in and make your own signature scent.
Yeah,
Hello.
absolutely.
Workout Wednesday is going to be over for the summer, but Beats on Bates continues every Wednesday night, 5:30 to 8:30 on Bates Alley, free music. That goes until the end of September. We have First Friday with Art Hop is going to be going on downtown, 5 to 9. With State on the Street as well.
So it's a lot of stuff.
All the things, one end to the other. We have Downtown Kalamazoo College Week, the 8th through the 14th.
Sweet.
So that's going to be some really cool things going on for college students. Students in the Zoo, our second Saturday event. And then we got some other stuff. Wellness and Recovery Fest at Bronson Park on the 14th. Paint the Town Green with Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Which is such a neat thing.
Isn't
oh my gosh,
that?
Yes.
I'm so excited. That one is 15th through the 21st, and this is our first event with them. So we're really happy about that. Switching it up, we've got the NSRA Street Rod Parade coming in on the 20th. That's always a good time to stand out on the street and watch all the old cars drive by. And then we're finishing the month up. Canadiana Fest is the 21st at Arcadia Creek Festival site. And then the 23rd through the 29th, a week-long free music event with Sounds of the Zoo, multiple venues. Really reiterating that we are a music city.
Absolutely. Very, very cool. Now, if somebody wants any of that information.
Yes, we
where would
have.
they go?
Oh, of course. You're going to go to Downtown Kalamazoo Shops. We have, you can go to our website. You can check out Facebook, Instagram. We're on the TikTok as well.
Absolutely.
All the things.
All the things there. Awesome. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, Tanya. This is Shop Talk.